Whoops, there I am. But we'll go with that. Welcome everyone. I am just here tonight. Dave is not going to make it. This light is super bright. There we go. Let me bring up, I want to share something on today's stream. How greasy my hair is. It's just wet, but it's not greasy. Here we go. What's up, everyone? Can everyone hear me all right? Let's see. Mike, or Mr. Hawk Crypto mentioned that he has another light for me, so we're going to see how that goes. Move the camera down. That's all right. It's all right. My head's in the middle. But the light that I have is just not great. I did go cheap on it. Let me say hi to everyone. Sorry, it's a little bit early, but I'm a little bit late. I decided to do it 8:15 today. Dave is not going to be joining us. Some family stuff that he's doing, but he is doing well. Frogman, what's up? Crypto Craig, what is going on? Techman Ty, Automatic Beats, Vinny Del Greco, Mr. Hawk Crypto and Tech, DJ Mines, what's going on, DJ? Yeah, lots of stuff this week on the Terra front. Swamp 7, what's going on? I got a good light for you. Yeah, this one's just like a brick. Like, it's just, I feel like it's not, they have those ones which I think I saw in the photo of yours, Mike, where it's like soft, you know what I mean, like a soft light. Dave's visiting Diddy in jail again. Yeah, him and Diddy just can't get enough of each other. But yeah, guys, this week we or today, I think, was it today? It was today. Yeah, Mike put out a new post for Terra, which shows our new location, which is in Indiana. We've been kind of hesitant of showing any photos and stuff like that. We've shown some photos before that were like renders, which we have of this place, of course, too. But this is, I kind of want to say, a larger project. That we're going to have containers, obviously container park for ASIC mining. But then also this property allows us to have a data center. So we are building a pretty good square footage size data center. Now, it's not going to be like a tier 4 data center. It's not like an AWS data center, but it's going to be kind of growing on the idea and everything that we've been learning in Melbourne. So I'm working closely with Mining Kiing on that. and we are working on some cool stuff, to say the least. So that's going to be a huge focus too for us at this location, as well as crypto mining. So super excited with it. A couple $100, Mike. I'm not going to pay a couple $100 for a light. I'll use a flashlight. I'll use my phone's LED. I'll just do this. It'll be like this. That looks worse. At least this is a warm one. Vinny Del Greco, next to the Amish farm, Jebediah is going to be upset with the noise. Yeah, Jebediah will be very upset. But luckily, Jebediah has no avenue to change anything we're doing. So Jebediah will have to learn what a Bitcoin is. But I will be happy to see some horses. Toxic Miner, what's going on, man? But here, let me open up one of these. What did yeah, you can kind of see the entire area, right? Like this side here. Which one was the first one? Am I on the first? Yeah. So you can kind of see where this is staked out here. We haven't put any gravel down where the containers are going to be going. So we're not yet, you know what I mean? Because we have to put all the conduit and everything down. We are actively working with the utility company right now to bring the power into this area. So that power is going to be coming here. It's going to be coming straight down and then up to our transformers, which will be on the property. So, and then of course the containers are connected to the transformers, but this whole side area is, you know, we're not going to put gravel down and then do the conduit, right? So we want to run all the conduit, and we're also, you know, in anticipation of future growth, we're also going to be running more conduit, probably to other areas of the site in anticipation of growing further, hopefully. So we will see. We will see. Brown County, a little Brown County. We can't say which county this is in Indiana. Unfortunately, Amish farm right here. They got great jelly. Hey, I didn't see any Amish farmers, but maybe they're hiding around. Swamp 7, when you buy networking gear, hit me up. I got a sick hookup. 1K for 100 gigabit spine or leaf L3 switches and InfiniBand stuff also. Swamp 7, yeah, I will hit you up actually, because we have just put together with Mining Kiing a budget for the networking side on this. What we will be doing, I know with the containers at least, Swamp 7, is we're going to be doing Ubiquity. We're going to be using Ubiquity on the as the whole network infrastructure of all the containers, all the ASIC stuff. I don't think we're going to be using Ubiquity in the data center stuff. We may be using MikroTik for that again. We'll have to see, because we're also in the process of, we're piping in electric, but we're also going to be piping in fiber. So, oh, my picture. Mike's just. I'm back. Your cameras. I know it's a little. I gotta. But we are excited to show you guys more photos as we progress. There's kind of a, I want to say, an internal battle on sharing photos, not sharing photos. It's, you know, we hold everything pretty close to the chest, but you know, we felt like it was like far enough along now, especially that they're, you know, construction has already begun. But there is going to be more photos as we progress, which I think the data center photos will be the most exciting in my opinion. So super pumped for this, super pumped. Let's see. NTL Crypto, your picture's gone. Yeah. I need to get a new capture card on this. It's one of those little USB to HDMIs, but I've been too cheap to even, you know, do anything with it. Swamp 7, Ubiquity's trash. I would not let Hawk Crypto run that crap in his house. Yeah, or in this house. Yeah, we've been back and forth with a lot of stuff, and we're comfortable with Ubiquity in the containers setup, because we know we've been working with another person in the he's not really in the crypto mining community, but he has multiple sites ranging anywhere from like 0.5 megawatt to, actually, I think most of them are like five or under. But he runs Ubiquity across all of his new sites, and he has a pretty good setup with all of it. And it's one of those things where it's like if we ever do come into issues, we know someone that we can kind of like call right away, But I'm sure there's a bunch of other options out there. But that is what we're doing. I have 2 Ubiquity switches and a bunch of shells. Yeah, Ubiquity. I know Mike's got Ubiquity. I've been wanting to do a Ubiquity system in my house for a while. We were doing AC and we were doing insulation. I was kind of just holding off to see how we were going to do that before I ran cat cables in the attic. But that's pretty much all done now. So I'm going to get started on that. But what's up, Crypto Mikkel? How you doing? Or Cisco for the win. There's so many options. It's like, but at the end of the day, it's like whatever, Mining Kiing is comfortable with, right? We've been doing this for, I want to say a little over 2 years now. Is that right, Mike? I don't know. It seems like 10 years. Working with Mike has aged me at like a insane rate. I'm like Benjamin Button. But almost 3. Yeah, God. But yeah, it's Jarrett or Mining Kiing has been working really hard on MikroTik, so we're very comfortable with that, and it's it works, right? It's 100 gig. It's so we're comfortable with that for the data center side. I don't think we can do 100 gig Ubiquity. I don't know though. We'll have to see. That's another thing is like the data center build for this is probably, I want to say, realistically 8 months away, because we're going to be taking our time. It doesn't go as quick as containers and bringing in power. Like all that other stuff's there. What's going to take a lot of time is ordering the right switch gear. The PDUs are probably going to be completely custom, and making sure everything is ran properly. And also, it's a fairly large building that's here. We're not going to be using the entire building. So we don't want to basically have, 20 server cases sitting inside of a large area. We want to make sure it's done right, but also in a way that we can, properly expand. Because the way we have Melbourne set up now, we had all the the GPU stuff there. Then we had ASICs there. Then we had a mixture of it all. And now we have server racks there, but we're kind of like moving it in between everything, because we have these giant Husky racks that were for Octo miners, and all the power is connected. Long story short, it's kind of like we want to build this out in anticipation of like a very large data center growth. So Ubiquity Enterprise has 100 gig now. Okay, yeah, I mean, maybe is MikroTik all web based and a remote app? I don't know. I know it's very, I don't want to say basic because Jared will shoot me. It's not basic at all. But what I mean by that, it's like, it's not friendly like Ubiquity, right? It's like, imagine Ubiquity is like Apple, and then Ubiquity is like, Ubuntu. You know what I mean? It's all command line stuff. It's a lot. Jared's learned a lot. So yeah. We have to have 100 gig internal networking between all of our servers for our AI clusters that we're going to be building out, and we have to also have a lot of network storage. So yeah, it's a long process. There's a lot that's we're going to be changing when we move over to Indiana and we move out of Melbourne. But luckily with Melbourne, we've had years now to kind of perfect how we operate stuff, how we how we would do it, right? That's always the question, is like, scalability in a business is, okay, cool, you can build one server and you could do this, you can make this much. Now what if you do 100? Where are your roadblocks in that, from one server to 100, right? Is it going to be power? Is it going to be HVAC? Is it going to be fiber? Is it going to be bandwidth? Is it going to be physical real estate space inside? You always hit these roadblocks, and where do you hit them at, right? And there's so many different variables, because you can have a server that costs, on the low end, just say like $16,000 to $20,000, or you can have a server on the high end that costs, closer to $300,000. So, where do you want to go? What's the market like for compute? It's probably going to be you want to be diversified in compute, right, for different cards and stuff. So, Frogman, yeah, 100 gig. That's just the internal networking, so that we can, the machines can, connect with each other and talk to each other extremely fast. But yeah, all that has to be 100 gig internal networking, which we're kind of exploring and testing some stuff in Melbourne. But you don't want to build too bad. You don't want to build it twice, right? But that's I know I'm ranting a little bit. That's what happens when Dave's not on here to stare at me and tell me to shut up. But like Ubiquity might not be the best choice right now, right? But in 8 months, it very well could be. So it's kind of hard to tell what we're, where we want to go with it, right? So I think what we've kind of been planning is let's just do, say switch here, switch there, 100 gig interconnectivity, and then we'll, watch the market and see where the products are and kind of go from there. Swamp 7 GPURisers, my recommendation is to switch that supports RDMA. CPU is the bottleneck. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to talk with Jared about Mining Kiing. I know one reason why he really likes Ubiquity is because not Ubiquity. I know he likes Ubiquity too, but MikroTik has ASICs chips on the routers and on the switches that can that are application specific to routing all the traffic and stuff like that. Mr. Hawk Crypto with the $20 super chat. Came a long way from starting from nothing. A lot of speed bumps, more like potholes. Yeah, more like sinkholes. But we're just getting warmed up. Thank you for everyone's continued support. It means a lot to me and the team. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. And yeah, me and Mike and the team appreciate everyone's support. It is kind of nuts seeing, pictures, right? Like I was just up in Indiana probably a couple weeks ago, standing on this land and, sending photos and videos back with Frank and just going through tons of stuff, and it is crazy seeing the progress here now with it. We do have someone that we hired on that's, Mike, he should probably be on one of the shows or both of the shows. His name's Andrew. Some of you guys met him at Mining Disrupt, but he's going to be doing side ops here. He's also very involved in the data center side of stuff too. So our plan here is, right, he's going to be here full time, every day he'll be here. And, but we are looking to hire people in Indiana. I don't want to say relatively quick, but probably within, definitely within a couple months of being live there. So Andrew's going to migrate eventually off of the crypto side and head up the data center ops there with Mining Kiing working remotely out of Missouri and occasionally taking trips over here and stuff. So that will be fun. But I appreciate it, Mike. How fast external network speed can you get at the new site? Melbourne had the sweet hookup. That's kind of a... We can have we're gonna have 10 gigs to start. Now we could have multiple lines of 10 gigs, but from our experience so far in Melbourne, 10 gigs gets us a long way. It gets us like a very long way. The biggest thing is IP blocks and stuff like that. But we will be working once we have a 10 gig line coming in. Or multiple 10 gig lines, we are going to be working on piping in an actual fiber tunnel like we have in Melbourne. I don't want to say we got lucky in Melbourne. It's just, it's in it. We're next to Northrop Grumman and L3 Harris. Like there's going to be fiber pipes. You know what I mean? Here, not so much, but it doesn't mean that we won't be able to have it. So it's just going to take longer. And all that stuff, permitting and all that kind of stuff, it takes a while. So, we'll at least be able to get started here while that's undergoing, because something like that could take a year. You know what I mean? Maybe even longer. Melbourne, they had the fiber pipe literally out front, and it took us, Mike, 7 months? I think it took us 7 months to get it live. It's crazy. And it was out front. They literally it was the power line out front. But that was also, Lumen, I think, has done a little bit of restructuring then. What's max MTU size on Ubiquity? I have no idea, Swamp 7. I'm not the tech guy by any means. I have no idea. MTU size. I could probably look it up. Yeah, we could bring Andrew on. Of course, he's the best. Yeah, Andrew's great. I think you guys will get along with Andrew. We call the East Coast Jarrett, or East Coast Mining Kiing. He looks like the Mining King, except he's like 6'8", and he looks like a Viking. Same kind of beard though and stuff, you know. Wears a hat, that kind of stuff. Miss Crypto Mikkel, welcome. I think I owe you an email actually. I'm going to be working with Mike on that tomorrow, I promise. Welcome. GPURisers, what's the pay, hourly or salary? It'll be salary. Swamp 7. We're going to want someone or a couple people full time there. Like I said, it's going to be something to, you know, Andrew's going to be heading up all this side ops in the beginning, doing all of that, and then he's going to kind of be the site manager there. And so we're going to need full-time people that do, you know, ASIC management, preferably repair. If you can't do repair, then we'll get you, you know, certified for that. Deployments, deployments. What's the opposite of deployments when you take them out and ship them back? I don't know. Forgot what that's called. But yeah, basically just ASIC farm management, and also a little bit of we'll be able to do maybe some data center stuff as well. We'll have to see how that side goes. So yeah, Techman Tide, the $10 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. I rib you guys sometimes, but appreciate you. I've enjoyed the evolution of GPURisers and Terra and King all around. See you in Las Vegas. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. It's if you told me 5 years ago I'd be doing what I'm doing now, I wouldn't even know what this is. You know what I mean? And I would have laughed at you. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's just crazy. And I'm really enjoying it too. You know, that's something I've been kind of like reflecting on in the past, you know, I want to say 5 months, maybe past year, because Missouri, the disaster of Missouri started about a year ago. And you know, dealing with local politics and everything, but it kind of made me realize what I really wanted to what I wanted to get into. I've always kind of like jumped around in life. You know, I wanted to go work on Wall Street and do finance, so I did finance in undergrad. Then I wanted to be a lawyer, so I went to law school, and then I you know, got my bar license, and then I wanted to crypto mine, so I started that, and then the GPURisers. I wanted to get into retail, did that, and then I kind of wanted to get into hosting, right? Like I saw Mike do it, or Hawk do it in Palm Beach, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, you know, like this style of business. So getting out from the product and side and getting into the service side, right? Retail over to service, I like that. And I think over the past couple of months, like I really enjoy like infrastructure as a service. Like I enjoy, you know, building multi-use stuff like this. Like I'm not there, you know, with a shovel in the fucking ground, right? But like the planning that goes behind it, you know, finding the power, all the contracts, which I guess kind of mixes a little bit with my history. But I think infrastructure as a service is just really, really cool. You know, really kind of getting into it at like an operational 10,000 foot level, which is kind of what I do daily now. But I appreciate it, Techman Ty. But let me catch up here. Mr. Max Voltage, welcome. Opposite of deploy is decommission. See, Techman Ty, thank you. I'm getting there. 10,000 foot level. Missouri was a kick in the balls. So excited and poof. Yeah, that's gonna be part of we were kind of talking. We've been talking a lot, but about doing kind of like a little. I know it's cliche, but like a little documentary, like a 30-40 minute documentary about the adventure that we've had over the past 2 years. Because there's a lot of stuff that you know, we can't yet say. You know what I mean? And it'd be kind of fun to share the story. But once we're at our own location, right? This industry can be really, really nasty, and we were like the nice guys going into it. And there's some names that are on the dartboard, I'll tell you that. So that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, once our site is up, but it's crazy. Let's see. I was hoping you were coming to Missouri. Yeah, it does. We really had a lot of hope for Missouri. We spent a lot of time, a lot of money in there, but hey, we've learned a lot, right? That's why, like with this site, it's completely different. We have other people, not other people, but we have people in the company that aren't like frontward facing, that help on the business side, and they've been active with all of this and providing a ton of guidance and just a lot of help with everything. And we've just, because we've learned all these mistakes, at least we learned it for a cheaper price, right? Like, it wasn't cheap. Missouri was not cheap, but it was a good learning experience, very good learning experience. So good things should come from Indiana. It'll be good. I found the article about the ordinance. Yeah, or more like shooting range posters. Yeah, we never showed it or anything. I'm not gonna blast anyone, you know what I mean? But yeah, there are news articles all about us in Missouri, and stuff like that. So it's interesting. I do want to go pay him a visit again at city council and just sit there and just listen, or put up. I always joke that I'm going to put up, because they were like very like anti-crypto, even though they all voted for the president that's very pro-crypto, which they were very confused people, like very confused about reality. And I always joke with Mike about putting up like billboards with like just all Chinese lettering and like, those North Korean like photos of like the military, like having one of those with like 50 of like North Koreans like photoshopped with like the uniform saying that like coming soon to you, I think that would be funny. So, but like I said, once we're established and everything like that, right now it's just Frogman. Yeah, it's and I have to say, like I said, with the learning process, right? We could have negotiated a lot better things in Missouri, right? So they actually had an amazing deal with us. Like it was great. Like it was going to be very difficult. Like the business goals that we would have had to have and that we would have had to reach relatively quick, although they were, attainable, it was like, it's very difficult. And there was a risk associated with it. But I mean, we were offering, I think it was like over 150% average salary, 10 people within 2 years, data center. We were bringing, all of this stuff, and for not much. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's just nuts. Mike saying AC unit runs at 66 dBA, which means their city hall would be in violation. Yeah, we have videos of us, measuring, like we were in city hall talking with them, showing videos of like right outside their AC unit. Like you can't hear it in here, can't do anything like that, and it's crazy. It's crazy. But Frogman, the meetings world. Yeah, Craig, I think you were watching some of this. It's crazy. Yeah, who doesn't want the money and jobs? Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, it's I'm gonna start writing more articles and stuff and get more not opinionated in a bad way, but kind of like try to, and there's people that do this now, so it's kind of like me kind of taking inspiration from them, but kind of like having a game plan for smaller towns, right? Like, what does this bring you? Why it's a good thing? And just crypto mining too. Crypto mining data centers, like, at the end of the day, like the outside of your property line is going to be just as loud with a bunch of chillers and AC units, as long as you have the walled off and stuff like that. But kind of making framework for smaller cities, because that's one thing that we've heard from so many people through this process, is explaining it to cities, going through everything. And we wanted to make an example of Missouri. That's why we we had I can go into it. It's just, there's so much, but we wanted to make the framework there, right? And then build it there, then copy and paste it across the country. But I do want to start getting into writing articles for smaller, cities and, councils that should be welcoming this stuff. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good that comes with this. Right now, the major hub, I'm sure Crypto Craig knows this more than most, but the major hub is in Northern Virginia for data centers. It's like, I think something like, don't quote me on this, but it's like half of all the data centers in the US are there. It's like a park of data centers. And, it's kind of time that they spread out a little bit. And Indiana has a lot of incentives for data centers that we're going to be taking advantage of. And they're open for business. You know what I mean? So that's a huge thing. What's Mike posting? Miss Crypto Mikkel, fan of marketing strategy. Yeah, the billboards. I have some. I'm not trying to be vindictive, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to troll the city of Branson a little bit. In all good fun, you know. They're all brilliant people. 150%, yeah, yep, and 10 jobs. 150% and 10 jobs, and we even had a whole plan for like high schools there, you know, and they had a tech college there and a college working with them, offering internships. Literally the whole thing in the building. We had a classroom. We were building a classroom in the building for this stuff. But no, you know, it's part of the. It'll be part of the story. We could have decreased their energy bills over the years, but the woke right just yeah, that's also what's crazy is you would have these board members. I know tonight's just a Terra stream. Sorry, I know Dave's not on. So, but yeah, there were board members like this is going to affect the electric. It's going to raise the prices. And then we had the head of the utility company there at the meeting. Like, actually, this is going to lower the cost. And then they were just staring at them like, how do we know that? And it's like, you have the head of the utility company here telling you that. Like, it's crazy. Like watching Jerry Springer in the council meetings. Yeah. Here we go. The Branson. That was just an out for them, though. Any logical person knows that was not going to work. An excuse to exclude the project. Yeah. Branson ordinance kills multi-million-dollar tech development. Yeah, that's the thing too. Which sucks about it is it wasn't just a container park, right? It's basically this is better what we're building here in Indiana. Definitely way better. But it's the concept was there in Missouri. It was going to be a we're reserving the power with the crypto mining, and then we'll have break off a little piece for the data center as we grow. But it wasn't just a crypto farm for jobs. It was going to be security. It was going to be data center jobs. It was going to be software development. It was going to be repair jobs. It was going to be tons of stuff. Oh, never saw this. Yeah, Mike, there's a couple of them out there. There was one that they came up and wanted to interview me on one of them, and I just said no. I think Frank did an interview with one of them. But it was an unused industrial park. Makes no sense. Yeah, they actually built it for this, which is wild. So I don't understand. And the zoning was there. Actually, it passed zoning. We got the zoning for it. It was just the ordinance that they switched to DBC, which me and Frank were literally out in the middle of the field with a cooler and like a giant speaker doing decibel levels. And what sucks is we did all this work to try to convince them and be like, we're going to be part of your community. We're going to do this. And we weren't bullshitting them. You know what I mean? We're really telling them just exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. And they just, I don't know, they thought we were Chinese spies. So, I mean, but everything happens for a reason, right? That's a big thing. So that led us to this place in Indiana, which definitely has a lot of expansion capabilities. So free field environment. Yeah. So they just do not want any companies, man. Those local people should vote them out. Yeah. That's what's, I know I always say it. I think I've said it a million times, but they're very far right wing, right? Mike calls them the woke right. They're crazy right wing. And they're sitting there in city council asking the government to stop free business. It's just I just wanted to look at do they even know what they're arguing for? I don't even know how do they what are they even arguing about when they're talking about politics or reading an article about they're not even on the political spectrum. That's what I don't get. It's just it's crazy. It's Northern Crypto. What's up, man? Alex, you forgot to pay 10% to the big guy. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, you obviously can't bribe city officials, right? But I've made my fair share of jokes. I would never bribe a city official, but it was I wanted to kind of just say something to be an asshole, what's it going to take, type thing. But you don't want to get in trouble and stuff, so that's why I'm just going to put the North Korea posters everywhere. I'm conservative, they're nuts. Yeah, if Mike is saying that they're crazy woke right, they're crazy. They're nuts. So yeah, they are crazy, Mike. You're right there. They are nuts. But sound specs are usually written to have DBA in a free field environment. Yeah, that's what this was, but it was DBC, Vinny, and that's what screwed us. Was we did everything with DBA. You know, they told us, they're like, you got to go get an engineer, right? Like, you got to go get a sound engineer, and you got to have a write up, you got to have all this. So we got a sound engineer, we had them do a study, and then they came to the city council meeting, and then they were like, yeah, we're going to do DBC, when none of them even know what how to spell the word decimal. It was crazy. Yeah, which DBC, I guess, which I've learned a lot about sound through all of this, but yeah, DBC is used to measure like extreme levels, like fireworks, gunshots, stuff like that. Whereas DBA is used to like measure ambient sounds, right? Like, or DBC is also, I think, an example they used was concert halls and stuff like that, like very loud noises. And so when I was out there with DBC tools, you know, crickets would be at like 68. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. Yeah, I should have said that, Mike. I should have put that up. I should have handed them all cards with A through Z, just all of them. Be like, in order for you to pass this, you have to be able to spell the word decimal. You have to be able to spell it. It was a convenient way to exclude the project. Yeah, it doesn't. In all honesty, it doesn't piss me off that they didn't pass it. It's how they went about it. It's you know, they told us everything was good. They're like, yeah, DBA, that's all good. Yeah, we want you, like, because we had all the closed door meetings, right? And closed door meetings, that was one thing I learned about local politics, is like closed door meetings are way different than the forum with all the geniuses. And so yeah, at closed door meetings, they were like, yeah, man, you know, like you guys are good, like we like it, and you know, everyone's shaking our hands, so excited, you know, you're gonna help our city grow and retain, you know, young people from moving out and blah blah blah. And then they told us, yeah, have your guy move here, like everything's good, and we shook their hands. And then the next meeting, just train wreck, just absolute train wreck. It's like it's just crazy. Mr. Goat, geek of all trades, what's up, man? DBC was unachievable. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Where's the cable guy? Sorry, wrong number. Yeah, he's what's up, all set? Dave is not going to make it tonight. He is doing family stuff. All good stuff though. He's doing good. I used to design sound housings for backup generators, 250 kilowatts to 2 megawatt units. Those are huge. Backup units always next to buildings and always pass because you could argue sound amplification by buildings in the area. Oh yeah, that's true. I guess this was just an open field, Vinny. The closest thing to it was an RV park, which we drove through, and we did DBA testings through the RV park, and all these RVs have like AC units on them and stuff. You can't hear anything. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds like a bunch of air conditioner units everywhere. So, but you couldn't hear it, right? We did all the DB testing. It was probably about, I think it was 900 feet from our property line was the closest thing. And that was, like I said, the RV park. So, and that had, it's so much trees and stuff between it. It was just, you weren't going to hear anything. But yeah, immersion for the win. Yeah, we've actually had a couple of clients that are interested in immersion. There's a lot more that goes into it, right? We don't want to like say, oh yeah, let's drop an immersion container, then realize the operating expense of these things is 3 times as much as, you know, we thought. So meth lab and RV park can be loud sometimes. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a couple of them in there or in the houses. But look at all that space. Build Terra. Yeah, thanks, all set. We appreciate it. Yeah, I was just showing everyone these photos we posted. We're gonna have more photos as time goes. So they're work every day. It's full speed ahead. And luckily all the permitting and all everything's already done, right? So like that was, as you guys know who are in this, like that's like the biggest thing. And what I just complained about with Missouri, that's the biggest part, is like, can we do this project? You know, is it feasible within these limits that you're giving us and all that? So yeah, hydro for the win. Yeah, hydro seems pretty easy. Not easy, but like you can fit a lot in a smaller container, and it seems like you don't have as much maintenance. What What are you saying, Mike? They said crazy things. I think the Cybertruck pissed them off. One lady said a data center. What's next? 5G towers, Tesla's, drag shows. Yeah, that was funny. I was like sitting there. I was like, okay, 5G, like we're good. And then she just said drag shows. I was like, God, like how do you go from 5G towers? She probably has like some kid that like started doing drag shows or something like that. And she probably blames it every day on the 5G towers. And she just goes to like, who goes to the city council meetings just for fun like that? It's not saying it's bad. It's good to be involved in your community, but geez, these people were not just involved. They were like, it's going to ruin our lives. You know what I mean? They wanted us to do a study on squirrels. I think I've gone through everything on these shows. So if you guys are hearing this for a millionth time, but, Branson's the mini Nashville. It's nothing but a town show. Yeah. I did like Branson. I gotta say it was nice, but it just they screwed us. They screwed us so bad. Alex Jones is their news source, 100%. Yeah. Squirrel study. Yeah, we'll get into the squirrel study. Yeah, Frogman. They wanted us to do a study on how the squirrels would react to the decibel limits of this, which oddly enough I'm not surprised, because I also heard with SpaceX they had to test it with like seals or something, or dolphins. They had to test like what like the sonic boom sounds or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it was in Missouri. It was in like a big industrial park, but in a lot of forest areas. So they were just throwing everything at it, right? They were just, and they succeeded. Sadly they succeeded. But also I feel bad for them, right? Because that town with all these shows and everything, their town is on the decline, like their population. Everyone that's born and raised there, it's not like this small town vibe, right? It's not like the Florida Keys or, areas around Nashville, like all these other places that are kind of progressive, everyone is leaving this town, right? Like kids are growing up and they're like, get me the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Because it's either, hey, you're going to go work at the go-kart track or the aquarium, you're either going to be cleaning Nemo or the go-karts, you know what I mean? That's pretty much it. So it's like there's no place there that's like, hey, this is like new and up and coming, like what you're learning in school, what you're doing, like you can apply those skills and do that here. There's nothing, right? It's like go-karts have been the same for 40 years. There those are just those are yeah it's spread sawdust of the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, that's literally, it's, I don't know, because we did that too, right? I did a whole analysis on their city, the growth patterns, similar cities, kind of like Pigeon Forge. I did a whole analysis of other cities that are like that, right? Like tourist destination cities, and they all share the same problem: population decrease, right? And so eventually, once all these old people die off, everyone else is like I said, get me out of here, right? Like I'm not going to be changing wheels on go-karts. Like I want to do something different. GPURisers, did you get any updates on the portal today? Yes, Mike, I did have a meeting with our portal dude. He is, I might even have an email. I don't have an email, but he's going to have something tonight for it. So we'll have a lot of information for you guys for the portal too. I know we showed it off at Disrupt. Unfortunately, our developer that we have got very, very sick, like hospital sick, right at Mining Disrupt, which is, we were supposed to launch it right then, or like, I think it was actually within the week or two after, but we got delayed like 2-3 weeks and stuff like that. So the portal is going to be sick. I know we talked about it. Once it's, I guess we can probably next, that's what we'll do is next, because it shows, that's the problem, is it shows client data, or else I'll show you guys tonight. Actually, let me see. I might be able to show you guys just like, does this show my URL at the top? No, okay. I don't know if I want to show. I don't know. Let me see if I could change it to one client. Yeah, no, it shows too much on the admin portal. Yeah, no, I can't show it, guys. I'm sorry. It shows like it has like all the clients. Also has like all of our data and like some financials and stuff. Because there's an admin portal and then there's a client portal, and they're like mixed, right? Like we have different tools, and on the admin side, which is totally cool, it's not client facing, but it's like we have all of our AI stuff as well. Like Terra Compute stuff is there. We're gonna have Terra hashes for sales, like on the admin side, and all that kind of stuff. So hope it wasn't Fluorescent, Missouri. It used to be fine years ago. No, Rizzo, it was Branson, Missouri. It was right on the border actually of Branson. That's one thing that we did towards the end, is where like we could literally build this right outside the city limits, but they were like crazy to the point where, like, I'm not even joking, like they would sit outside. Like if we didn't have security there, they would probably have people outside like picketing and stuff like that. Like it was crazy. I'm like 10 minutes from there. Show the demo. That's what the demo. Yeah, that's the thing, Mike. I'm on like the live portal. We have it running, which is cool. Another thing, which I don't know if you guys knew, but all of our stuff is being ran at Terra, which is really cool. We have nothing like cloud hosted, so we're running all of our stuff, which is really, really neat. Yeah, I just can't. Let me see if I can get to a page to show. I could probably take a screenshot, but yeah, this just shows too much, Mike. It shows like literally all. Let me see if there's a dashboard. Maybe I could do one here. Yeah, no, it's too much. Yeah, I don't want to use another browser. Is the demo still up? Here, Mike, send me on Discord the link to the demo. I can bring that up. Yeah, the demo. Okay, yeah, I didn't know the demo's still up. The demo, like, what's odd about it is the actual portal right now doesn't have dark mode yet, but the demo does. So I know dark mode is going to be a big thing. Yeah, Mike, if you want to send that, I can pull it up. But yeah, we have some really. I can kind of like. I don't want to just talk about it when you. This week, next week, I'll be able to show it live for you guys, and I'll log in there as a client, and I'll just blur the client out. But yeah. We should have more too. We'll have like a video, I think, of it and everything. We're also gonna do like a live demo. The whole point of it, though, is that it's gonna be like so straightforward that like you don't really need instructions, right? That's a huge thing. And ticketing will be like 10 times better than what it is now. We know the ticketing right now is not great. We have it the way it is just so it's somewhat organized on our end, but this is gonna change the game with tickets for sure. So we're pumped for that. And also we have, I mean, that's all the admin stuff, but yeah, it's gonna be useful. Also, I mentioned the language model that we have. We're running a custom version of Mistral. I think it's the 40 billion parameter model or 25 billion parameter model. That's ran on an AI server at Terra 2, which is awesome that we have it there. So it's a full epic. It's running on a single 4090, which we've done a lot of tests. That thing will be able to, we can have 50 concurrent clients on there using it, as long as they're not using it for really crazy stuff. But yeah, you'll be able to, one question we get often is like, why is my bill more this month than last month? And it's usually because this month has one extra day, right? Which sometimes can equate to, 3% higher or something like that. Or something in February to March, it was 3 days. So it was over 10% swing. Oh yeah, this is still up. Okay, let me switch this over. There we go. So I think this is the only the client side one. Yeah. So I mean, it will look very familiar or very similar to this. Not a lot, but um, yeah, things change. Or actually, it looks so different because it's the client side. Um, do they also pay less for 28-day months? Yeah, they do, DJ. The way we have it now is it's like month to month. We've been kind of back and forth, right? Like we use Foreman, and we cross-reference that with like what the TDP should be. It's usually very accurate because it calculates any reboots or anything like that. But we have debated doing flat fee billing. A lot of customers tend to like the idea of like, okay, my machine's $180 a month to run, and they know what their bill is every single time. So in that case, we would do something like 30. I think it's 30.4 days. You do, and do just recurring billing like that, right? That's the only way that we would be able to do like auto charge for credit cards. So we have a lot of customers that are requesting that. But the way Foreman, I don't know. Like I always try to put myself in the shoes, right? Like I want to pay what the actual electric rate is. Even if it's like a little more, it'll be a little less some month. Like I'd rather have it fluctuating, and I'd rather be able to view the bill every month. So I think we'll probably keep it like that. But yeah, it'll be cheaper for the months that have less days. What's up, Joker Miner? How you doing, man? Tune in, watch getting for my live after GPURisers. Hope you all had a great day. Nice. Swamp 7, can you use the API server from the PDUs and bill off of that? We can, Swamp 7, but we're not going to have smart PDUs in the containers. We have looked into that for hosting AI stuff, and we also looked at that with the GPU mining stuff. It just was so close to what the actual cost was that any kind of variance would over time even out. It was not off by a lot at all. But yeah, for AI stuff, we would have to do that, right? Like there's a lot of the AI stuff we do a lot of different AI stuff now, but you guys are like familiar with like the way Vast is, right? Like you set it up on Ubuntu or then you just rent it out. We have some platforms that we're on that are kind of like that, where we set it up and then we just hand it off, right? But we have no idea what power it's actually using. And they're on, they're on like APC PDUs for like remote weeks so that we can like remotely cycle them, but we're not like monitoring that. You know what I mean? So we just get basically the bill at Melbourne and we're like, oh, there's a little bit more than last month or a little bit less. It's usually the same, month over month, but yeah, eventually on the data center side, we will have that because we do want to get into, I don't want to say hosting AI, but I don't know. That's going to be one of the first things, right? If we ever did want to do that and know like, profitability per machine, yeah, we would have to pull the data off of PDUs for that. But Mr. Crypto Frank, what's going on, Crypto Frank? Yeah, I was going to show we were just talking about the portal. This is the demo from Mining Disrupt. So this has changed since then, but the live version that's online right now, I only have there's my key. The live version, I only have stuff, so I didn't want to put it up here. Managed PDUs are so much money, but so worth it for the management and reporting. You can aggregate them and use them to drive statistics and billing. Yeah, it's definitely in the future. I don't think for the ASIC stuff because it's so close. But yeah, we're going to have managed PDUs in the data center in Indiana for sure. There's a lot of companies. There's actually going to be one that we spoke with at BTC Nashville. They're going to be in Vegas too. And they do custom PDUs. And that's a big thing, not just on that side, like on the management side, that's huge, but also the power side, right? Like all these PDUs that we have now that are, available, commercially and that are easy to hook up are these 30 amp 240s, which you can really only put about 5,000 watts on them. So you have this like huge, long, 6-foot PDU that you have one machine on. You know what I mean? We run like one machine on those. Sometimes 2. We have some 5-card machines, so we'll run those. We could do 2 on 1, but these custom PDUs that you can get, I mean, you can have one that's like 6 feet long, like a server PDU or server rack PDU that you put in there, but each slot can do like 4,000 watts, kind of like the ASIC stuff. So you probably split it between 2, but yeah, we're going to be looking into those for the data center stuff for sure. Anything that gives King heartburn is what we need. Managed everything. Yeah, we need it managed. Then we need redundancies for the management switches and the provisioning switches and redundancies for the fiber. Redundancies. That's the thing with the redundancies is like, I feel like you hit a point where it's like, we're not hosting, critical infrastructure, right? If we go down, it's not like the president's going to call us and be like, hey, why is my phone not working? So it's, there's a balance, right? Because anytime you add another level of redundancy, you add higher operating expense, your rental rates are gonna have to be higher, and we don't want to be another Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the world we're in, right? We want competitive compute and competitive compute pricing. But we need enough, right? Like, if the power goes out, that needs to be covered. If the internet goes out, it needs to be covered. The HVAC goes out, it needs to be covered, like all of those, but we don't need like 8 fiber lines. We don't need, chillers on chillers on chillers, and all that kind of stuff. So, Mr. DJ Mines, will you all be keeping Florida Spot long term, you think? I mean, we have another couple years there, but no, we're probably going to be leaving once Indiana's up and going. And I was talking earlier in the chat about like the shit list that's going to be in the docu-series one day. We have some stuff with Melbourne with that too, so it's a learning process. You know what I mean? It's, yeah, it's been kind of just a test site for over a year now. Ever since we moved to Kansas, which was a year and a half ago now. It's just been like a test site. So. We will be getting rid of it once Indiana's up and going, but again, there's no rush to get out of there. But on my ASICs, I have them wired directly to the panel, 1 breaker per machine, no PDUs. Yeah, I've seen that. Our containers have PDUs, they're kind of interesting. It's a PDU that also has networking in it, but not like good networking. So or not bad networking. It's just not. It's just so that there's less cables. You know what I mean? The main network goes through it, and then I think each PDU might be its own little mini switch. Even I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting layout. So it saves just a lot less cables, right? Less things that can go wrong. But they are right next to the power, which I guess they're shielded or something. So that's a Mining Kiing question, that's for sure. But yeah, so let me see if I can go a little bit. I don't think the demo has a whole lot in here, does it, Mike? Shows my machines. Oh, it has like some of the charts, like what it'll look like. This is really just what it would look like. And then they have the support tickets in here. Yeah, we have the AI assistants. I know I keep talking about the AI stuff. It is really cool because it's Mistral language. It's the Mistral language model mixed in with all the data that's on here, so it learns from everything, which on the admin side is super cool, but on the client side it's really cool too, right? You can go in there and say, hey, what was the total of my electric bills, or what were all of my total bills to Terra if you have nodes and other services for 2024. So when you're doing taxes, it's like boom 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 real quick, and stuff like that. So it'll be nice. Can add all that stuff for you. It'll be able to tell you, percentage wise, what's the increase of this bill over last bill. The data there is really good, and then the tickets are the tickets look different now, in a good way. Like this box is expanded over to the right, and it looks like an iPhone text message. So when you submit a ticket, it's like you're chatting back and forth, and then that ticket pings everyone on our end too, right? So it's not just like this. A ticket is, they get assigned to someone on the back end, depending on the question, but we'll be able to have stuff like, that shows, hey, this ticket hasn't been responded to in a while. Please, message back. And it's more of an organic thing. Because right now the ticketing system is like, I think it's emails, like the way that it goes back out to people. Like you'll respond and then we'll respond. It's just like, it's not friendly. You know what I mean? And we wanted something very friendly, and that's what this will bring. So that's super cool. Settings, I think we have light mode, dark mode. We're also going to have some other fun modes like Terra mode and stuff like that. Push notifications. So like if you're in the browser and you have an active support ticket and like you just so happen to, I mean, people are going to be online responding to these things. But you'll have like a little ping, if you guys are familiar with Slack or Discord. I mean, I think a lot of people are with Discord. It'll ding you, which my pings don't work on Discord anymore, which is super frustrating. So I got to figure that out. Billing also, it'll have everything for you if you have a company name, if not your personal name, all the bills that you've paid. You can also download your bills, total invoices, payment history for on-time payments. Lots of fun stuff. If you have nodes and stuff like that, you'll have it here. We are going to be rolling out some not I don't want to say not anytime soon, but not right away, but we are going to have some other monthly subscriptions, I guess you could say, for stuff like that. Some that will offer full warranties for ASICs, X amount of repair every year, stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool. C20 plug and wire directly into the panel. Each panel has 120 breakers for 120 ASICs. Yeah, that is nice, just having a direct breaker for it. I think the way ours is, Craig, is that we have larger breakers for each PDU. But we may have individual ones, and the PDUs might just be like a holding thing to hold all the wires. I don't know. What the heck? You got your own data center in your backyard. Yeah, Crypto Craig's got some fun stuff. DJ Mines BTC's at 98K. Is that 98K? Was it just was it the Fed decision today? Didn't the Fed hold interest rates today? I think that was expected though. Let's see. Container has 2400 amp panels each panel homes. Yeah, it's a lot. Craig's got a lot in his backyard. If you're not getting notifications, it's a setting. I have mine off. I thought I was too, Joker Miner, but I literally tried everything and I looked it up, and like some people are like, yeah, I had some people had to like reinstall Windows. I was like, this is brutal. Arizona signed a bill. What did they sign a bill for? The Bitcoin and Digital Assets Reserve Fund bill was just signed into law in Arizona. Is that the Bitcoin reserve stuff? That's pretty cool. I think more states will follow. I feel like it's more of a, if the feds don't want to do it, then the states should have rights to do it, right? Now lithium miners doing well. Nice. Those lithium miners needed. They've been hurting. I'm getting ready to move on a small power plant project coming online in 8-12 months. Waste incineration recapture. Oh, that's pretty cool. They were the second state to sign this week. Oh, interesting. Which was the first one, Frank? Appreciate you and Tara. Thanks, Joker Miner, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it, man. It's a lot of fun stuff coming. We got a lot of cool projects. Every week we may have like some more that we'll tease out there. So I appreciate it, Joker Miner. Thank you. But here, let me pull up there we go. 98K. New Hampshire. That was the first one. GPURisers took 1.5 years just to get the air permits. I remember you talking about, I think it was the same area, Craig, about the you mentioning that, like, is this the one that's like on the property, like on the station? Because I remember you were talking a lot about that, but you said waste recapture. That's pretty cool. So waste incineration recapture. That's pretty neat. Is that like reusing like waste incineration? Like how is that working? The first thing I'm thinking of is like the methane gas that they pump off of dumps and stuff like that. Is it like reusing that kind of stuff? I can tell it's getting overheated. That's interesting. New Hampshire and Arizona. But yeah, I mean, more states will follow. You know what I mean? It'll diversify, you know, state funds and stuff like that, and you know, investments. Who knows? Maybe one day. I know our governor here in Florida has been talking a lot about property taxes. They say eliminating it, right? I know Trump does too. We're going to eliminate the income tax, but I think you shoot for the stars, you land on the moon type thing. But yeah, who knows? Maybe one day, you know, if states invest in this stuff, they'll be able to not need as much tax money. You know what I mean? But air permits for what? No, this will be in North Carolina. Basically, buy local trash, burn it, turn it into free power. The incinerator business pays for the power plant. The crypto side is the beneficiary. Oh, that's nice. Incinerator business pays for the power plant, and the crypto side is the beneficiary. Trees, tires, trash, etc. Interesting. So you said it's what, 12 to 18 months? Craig, you got to do some videos of that, man. Like, as that's going, that's so cool. Talk about renewable. North Carolina is not too far from you, right? Yeah, it's like the next state over. Is that right? I think that's right. Sounds like a Sim City thing. Too busy to fit. Craig, you got to get like at least do. You should do like a vlog. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, right? Because like I used to do vlogs and I don't anymore, but I should, right? I know Mike likes my vlogs because my camera's like right here on my face. But stuff like that is really cool. You know what I mean? It's having videos like that is pretty sick. Or hey, if you don't want to do it, then we could do a site visit, Craig. We'll do a video. Because I visited your place in Virginia a couple times. I still think about that steakhouse, Craig, that prime rib, which is like conservatively a 40-ounce steak. It was, God, I still think about it. It was good. I remember they plopped that thing in front of Jarrett, and he was just like, I can't eat this. It's like, he doesn't eat a lot, and that steak was like the size of his head. Don't do tires. I worked at a power plant in college that did tires, and treetops tires got tons of heat from the EPA. Oh, it's already fully approved. Yeah. That's the thing, is you got to have the things in place, right? That's the biggest thing is approvals, and then you hope they don't screw you. But once it's already kind of going and you have money invested, it really is hard for them to rake it back, right? Like that's where you can get injunctions thrown and stuff like that. Took a lot of work, but it's approved. Nice. Congrats, Crypto Craig. Yeah, we got to get some more information on that. That's super cool. Nothing left in that plate but fat and grizzle. Yeah, that was a good steakhouse. But yeah, other than that, guys, Bitcoin 98K. We are going to be in Vegas 3 weeks from now. We're going to be in Vegas. I highly doubt we're going to do. Actually, it's a Wednesday. It'll be 6, 7, 8, 9. We may be able to do Tuesday night. We have a event that we're going to, or is that Monday night? I don't know. We could probably do Wired Wednesdays from like the hotel or something for like a quick hour with you guys on that Wednesday. But yeah, that's 1, 2, it's 3 weeks from today. We'll be there. God, that comes up so quick. That primer is amazing. Yeah, Craig, seriously, I'm not even joking. I think about it more often than I want to admit. Like I'm a huge prime rib guy. Like I love steaks. I usually like cook them, at home. Obviously, they're a lot cheaper, but whenever I'm out, I always get prime rib because that is so you can't really cook it at home. You have to cook like a whole rib roast, And I always think I'm like, God, that place up there, just massive. And it was like lunch. It was like 1 p.m. and I'm like, yeah, I'll have the like 30-ounce prime, or what they call it, the Hugga Bugga or Hooga Booga. what was it, Craig? I'm gonna sound like an idiot. The I can't remember what it was. The Hugga Bugga? I don't know. It was like the size of, oh yeah, Hunka Hunka. Okay, I was close. The Hunka Hunka prime rib. Yeah, that was a big prime rib. BTC needs to get back to 100K to stomp out all the shorts to the moon. Yeah, usually once it hits those like markers, that's where it'll the sell wall, the sell order wall will just get torn down. Let's see, we had to buy credits from an engine manufacturer offset the carbon dioxide and NOx emission. Was that nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide? Yeah, that's crazy. Having to buy credits, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different world. The Hunka Hunka. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think Dave will be back next week. So we'll be on his channel. And yeah, hopefully Bitcoin's at 100K in the next 30 minutes. But if not, hopefully by next week. I don't know if we'll have more photos next week to show you guys. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. It'll first come on Twitter though, so you'll see it if we have that. So if we have anything new, but hit the like button, smack the bell, Hawk. Everyone smack the bell. Crypto Frank, that's how Apple stays zero emissions. They buy a shitload of credits. Yeah, we're carbon neutral. It's crazy. Yeah, their iPhones are made of leaves and wasted fruits. EPA is all about who you know. So frustrating. Oh yeah, it's every government agency. I feel it's the same thing. That's a lot of life, right? Is who you know. So, but yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be everything. It wasn't a short stream. I kind of started early today too. But we'll be back on Dave's channel next week. And other than that, don't go to Missouri. Yeah, it's Missouri's not open for business. That's why I want to buy shirts. It's closed for business. It's but hey, maybe once they realize their population gets to a breaking point, then they'll be like, okay, we'll allow 3G. We'll allow people to have some kind of cell service here. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll get to that point. But yeah. But other than that, guys, I hope everyone has a great rest of their week, great rest of their Wednesday. And we'll see you guys on Dave's channel next week. Maybe one vehicle charger. Mike, you sound crazy. You think they're going to allow EVs there? There's actually people there trying to do EV charging, and they struck the bill like just immediately. Like it was, they don't want that kind of communism in their city, Mike. You sound crazy. A vehicle charger. If they heard you saying that, Mike, they would beat you to a pulp inside of the room if they heard EV vehicle charger. They would call you a communist and a Chinese spy. But on that note, guys. I hope everyone has a good rest of their day, rest of their week, good weekend. Hope everyone gets a hunka prime rib. Make sure to get the hunka prime rib. And we'll see you guys next week on Dave's channel. But take it easy, guys. And